Sweet the whispers in your ear whenever Ember wanders near.
So it's always fun to see a woke game dev just shoot themselves in the foot right before their studio closes. So why not? Let's take a look. I'm not sure which studio this is. I'm not even sure what game this is, which kind of says a lot, doesn't it? So let's take a look. It's a shorter little video. So let's take a look.
Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So it looks like it's another rough day to be the modern audience. This time, Luna Abyss has flopped so hard that the entire development team responsible for it has been fired. This comes after 7 years of development, where not only did we get a lackluster experience for the game itself, but it was one that was filled with lectures directed towards gamers about pronouns.
This is not the only game developers that have gone under like this recently. There was do you guys remember that game South of Midnight? That it was that game that's like it took place in the bayou, and as the main character, like you powered up by literally picking cotton. You guys remember that game? Like it flopped fucking hard as hell. Apparently that game was in development for like 5 or 7 years, and it bombed. Oh yeah, that released, and then it immediately shut down. I don't even know how long it lasted for, but then it shut down. The studio shut down. And it was in development for somewhere in the neighborhood of like 5 to 7 years. Are we seeing a pattern here? Are we seeing a pattern? All of these woke games are in development for so fucking long, and then as soon as they release, gamers like, I hate this shit. Boom, and it dies. And you know why I suspect they've been in development so long too? All of these woke games is because they keep losing funding. That's my suspicion. Is they're a woke game. They're an SJR game written and developed by DEI, and they keep running out of funding. And I think that's why it takes like 7 years, because they'll develop it for a little bit, and they'll get funding, and then their backers will say, okay, let's see what you got. They look at it, see it's a DEI bullshit game, and they go, yeah, we're not supporting this, and they pull their money out. So they have to find another backer. That might take them another year. They finally find another backer. They start working on it again, and then the backer goes, this is garbage, I'm backing out. And so then they all find another backer, and in the end, it ends up taking them like 7 fucking years. And they end up just falling right on their face right out of the gate.
Turns out, gamers don't like that. The modern audience might cheer that on, that sort of Dragon Age the Veilguard messaging, but the real target audience, the one that gets you sales, real gamers, did not respond well to this. And guess what? Actions have consequences. When you spend 7 years in development and you can only peak at a few hundred players, people have to be fired. Hopefully this time a lesson is learned, and these people going out to new studios after losing their job with Quali Studios, maybe they will readjust their priorities. But I doubt it.
Doubtful. No, doubtful. Because they're a product of the modern generation. So they do not leer. They just go, well, I'm just a misunderstood genius. People just can't appreciate this, so I'm going to go somewhere that people will appreciate me. And they'll keep repeating the cycle, and they'll keep failing over and over and over again. This is where lack of education comes into play, where they haven't learned the basic fundamental of when you make a product, you have to have a market for that product. You have to have a customer base that is willing to give you money for that product. If you're making a product for no one, then you will have no one to give you money and therefore allow you to continue to make said product or improve upon said product. Basic business fundamentals that these people blatantly ignore. Why? Because they've been taught all their lives, you can do anything. You're a special snowflake. You can work on hopes and dreams, and if you try really hard, and if you believe hard enough, you're definitely going to succeed. And then reality said, hold my bear. And then bitch slapped them back into the computer.
Here is the headline. Just weeks after releasing Luna Abyss, the development team at Quali Labs has been reportedly laid off. The entire team has been let go, and if you've seen the numbers for this game, it's not surprising at all. Now, just like any other woke game,
is anybody surprised? Is anybody surprised? Although, interestingly enough, I notice a distinctive absence of one particular review company. Very fascinating that IGN did not review this game. Considering it's right up their alley, I am honestly surprised we do not see an IGN review here. Now, granted, all the rest were like, oh, nines, 8.5, 8. Of course. Yeah, this is fucking mixtape all over again, and look what happened to mixtape.
From a woke studio, it came out to sterling reviews from journalists who were propping this up, saying it was a smash hit and that people were going to love it. Well, turns out people didn't. In fact, the most memorable thing about this game is this sequence right here that would get a lot of attention, where a character is referred to as a she, but they quickly address that. And
oh my god. That's a good job. Well done, lass. Thank you for the help. I'm a they, not a she. There it is. And they wonder why they failed. If you make a product for no one's going to buy your product, and you're not going to make money. If they couldn't figure out this basic fundamental in business, they deserve to fail. And they did. And it looks fucking great on them.
Address that and say, no, I'm a they, not a she. And that is really what the game is remembered for. Yeah. You can see the Steam DB numbers here. 41 in-game players right now after only a couple weeks after its release. Abysmal numbers, especially for 7 years of development. You can see the all-time peak was 317 players, and the interest in this immediately died and never regained any traction. Once again, the only attention being on the virtue signaling, and guess what? That doesn't bring in anyone, no matter how much people try to gaslight you on social media, saying they love this stuff. Well, not only...
I don't care about Kratos' pronouns, let me rip and tear. Gamer? Don't mean to poke. Wrong franchise! Rip and tear is Doom, not Kratos, not God of War. You're gonna piss off the Doom bros, my guy. Don't do that! Because they will rip and tear.
The modern audience doesn't even show up for this kind of stuff. They say they love it for attention on social media, but when rubber meets the road and they actually have to use their wallet, they do not. This is the legacy of this game.
God of
this
Laundry Landry.
Is what's remembered of 7 years of development. This screenshot alone. Now, of course, you can see the headlines from journalists like those at IGN trying to gaslight you into believing this was a smash hit that somehow just didn't pan out, and now we're all shocked that the development team
a well-received shooter. Well-received at an all-time peak of 300 players. Very, very well received. Oh, yeah. And the claim to the decision was to make the development team, it was redundant, completely outside of their control. Sure it was. Like, does anybody think we believe this? Do these people, does this person, Holly Emery, really think anybody believe this? Like, I understand you have to do the corpo speak. I realize this. I'm not ignorant to the fact that as a corporation, you have to do that corporate double talk, double speak. Do they think that, like, can they please not insult our intelligence like this? I understand the need for it, but you can do corporate speak and not insult people's intelligence. Where you could say the decision was made because the product simply did not meet the company's expectations, and so we chose to lay it running off. That is a corporatized way that you can basically say the game flopped. We fired the dev team because there are a bunch of SJRs that created a DEI product that was made for no one, and we're in the business of making money. You could literally turn that into we decided to lay them off because the product did not meet expectations. And that would be a perfectly reasonable thing to say as a corporation that when it comes to a dev team that makes an abysmal failing product.
Has been let go. So here's the headline. Entire Luna Abyss development.
Wait, I looked up the CEO, Key Volunteer Sparkle, the National Chance. You're talking about Holly Emery? Is that who you're talking about, Holly Emery? So, of course, Key Volunteer Sparkle, National Transgender Charity. Are we surprised? Is anyone? I mean, I would not be surprised if this is a Sweet Baby Inc. product as well. If Sweet Baby Inc. was here on the background on this, that wouldn't surprise me. Because Sweet Baby Inc. was doing South to Midnight, and that was a tiny little game too. Wouldn't surprise me if they were involved in this one too.
Team laid off 1 month after launch. The entire team of a well-received shooter that was released just a month ago has been laid off. Yes, the well-received shooter. Yeah, maybe by journalists who nobody trusts anymore, but by real gamers, clearly not well-received at all.
Oh my god. That is, okay, Super Late, that is diabolical, and it's fucking true. Bonnie Blue took more D in a single day than this game had players at its peak. That is fucking diabolical, and I love it. So, that is the new metric. Chat, this is our new metric. You have, my darling Stray, you have just created a new metric for games. From this point forward, when a new game comes out, the question will be, does it get more players than Bonnie Blue took in a day? That's our new metric.
And they have to really cope with that in the article, saying it only peaked at 317 players on Steam, suggesting it hasn't found a big audience.
Actually, wait, no, I got the tagline. Is the peak player count higher than the Bonnie Blue body count? There we go, got it. Oh my god, I got, oh, this is fucking good. Oh, this is fucking good. The new metric for video games is the peak player count higher than a Bonnie Blue body count? Hold on. Okay, I have to pause. I need to tweet this. I need to tweet this. Okay. This needs to be a tweet. Wait, I got cool Grant's here, because Grant's, I like your phrasing. There we go. What do you think? New metric for how successful a video game is. Is the peak player count higher than Bonnie Blue's body count? Actually, I should probably try and find. Hang on, where's the okay, Luna. I should probably use the Luna Abyss tweak for that. Hang on. Let me find the Luna Abyss tweak. Okay, hang on. Okay, perfect. I'll use IGN's perfect. Perfecto. There we go. What do you think? New metric for how successful or how much of a failure a video game is. Is the peak player count higher than Bonnie Blue's body count? What do we think? What do we think? Net? And post it. That is fucking diabolical, and I love it. What is her body count? At least 1,000 in one day. Bonnie Blue's body count is at least 1,000 in one day. Yes, one day. That is not me being hyperbolic. That's not me bullshitting you. She did 1,000 guys in one day. Super Lane wants credit. You know what? You know what, Super Lane, you deserve it. You know what? You absolutely deserve it. Hang on. I think you have a hyphen in your name, don't you? No. Shoot, I need to find your Twitter handle again. Hang on. Where is your Twitter handle? Where is it? Where is it? Where is your Twitter handle? Okay, here it's gonna be in this thread. It's gonna be in this. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, let's continue.
Really cope with that in the article, saying it only peaked at 317 players on Steam, suggesting it hasn't found a big audience. Really? It's suggesting it hasn't found a big audience? I think that confirms it didn't find any audience whatsoever. But you can see the development team was made up of 9 people, all of whom are now seeking work. The team spent 7 years working on the game. Absolutely diabolical. And if you go to...
Although, I do have to ask the question, because if you remember, Anthem was also worked on for 7 years. Don't forget that. The game Anthem was in development for 7 years as well. And leave us not forget, the developers did not even know the game that they were working on until probably like a few months out from release. When it was at I forget what gaming event it was where Anthem first got shown off. They did not even know the name of the game until they saw the pre-made quote-unquote tech demo, which was just pre-generated. There was no players behind it. That got displayed at, like, I think it was E3 maybe. I think it was maybe an E3 when it was like 6 months or a year out from release. The developers did not even know what the name of the game was until it was revealed at E3. So begs the question, with this game that's been in development for 7 years, how much of that time did they actually spend on developing it?
The forums, the discussions here on Steam for the related page, it is a massacre. In fact, I think there's more activity on this with people dunking on them than there are people interested in the game, saying, I'm a they, not a she. I mean, I wanted to get this. Well, too late. Only discovered this game exists because of the dev team. Amazing stuff.
Duke Nukem Forever is another
when will they
for its extremely long development time.
Yeah, and it was all and while Duke Nukem Forever wasn't as bad as this, Duke Nukem is widely considered as somewhat of a disappointment. It wasn't terrible. Like, Duke Nukem wasn't terrible, but for what it was supposed to be, what people were anticipating what it was supposed to be, it was still a disappointment, but it did have far more players than this one. I don't know what its total player count was, like what its peak player count was, I don't recall, but it was definitely more than this.
Them do now, or what will they do now? Interesting. Go woke, go broke. Second game, potentially, you might want to hold my hand as I share the news that will not be happening. Does the dev team still get paid if I use that second game, potentially, you might want to hold.
So I beat the game. I'm just wondering, with the wonderful ending of killing the Allfather and then blah, 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 do the devs plan a second game or a continuation of the story?
Hold my hand as I share the news that will not be happening. Does the dev team still get paid if I buy this? Oh. You know what? I don't think they're going to get paid if you buy this game. All 5 people still might be interested, but even some of the more positive reviews are disappointed in this decision. This person saying, well, I had a blast with the game, but unfortunately I cannot recommend buying it because Quali is utter garbage and laid off the entire staff not even a month after launch. Yeah. Even the people who seem to enjoy the game are disappointed by the firing.
Okay, so let's be real here. This is posturing. This is activism. I don't think that this person actually had fun with the game. I doubt. I think this person only wrote that because they saw that they got laid off, and because the main character is a they, them, it was instantaneous, like, okay, I don't care how the game plays. They're inclusive, so it's a fantastic game. And they're upset that Wally, like, basically got shuttered. And so they're only writing this and claiming they had a blast to try and, like, they think it's some kind of, like, twisting the knife. Like, haha, I actually had a fun game, but I'm going to leave you a bad review because you laid off the entire dev team. Haha! And they're leaving a review to nobody because nobody gives a shit. This is just your typical SJR reading into the void to nobody.
Of the entire development team. And, well, comes with the territory when you produce absolute slop. Even the supporters are going to have some criticism for you. But let's not forget, IGN trying their best to gaslight you that this was a well-received shooter. And the comments are ripping them apart, saying, are you stupid? This is why no one likes you, with obviously the chart numbers here. I played this game yesterday for about 3 hours on stream. It's one of the worst bullet hells I've ever played, with poor level layout, wonky surface interaction, and awful writing / world design.
There it is.
Did you see the scene? Are you sure it's bad writing? Did you see how gracefully they discussed pronouns? Are you not impressed with their ability to weave in their own personal agenda into the story they're creating? But of course, people are pointing that out. In quotes, well-received shooter, 10 out of 10 masterpiece. I'm a they, not a she. As Fleekazoid would say, it's such a success. We laid off everyone. Yeah, I keep hearing about all these gigantic successes in the gaming industry. It's always followed by layoffs. Huh. It's almost like these journalists are gaslighting you into believing utter slop is actually well-received and successful.
That's not possible.
I can't believe it, ladies and gentlemen.
It's not possible.
A well-received shooter. Stop lying. If these are well-received numbers, I'd like to see poorly received. Yikes. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't really know at this point what would be bad numbers for these journalists, but then again, they're talking about things that they're very, very, very invested in, which is virtue signaling. Not good games, virtue signaling. We're seeing it across the board, and it is a bloodbath right now in the gaming industry, with Xbox and all these other studios being shut down and having massive layoffs. This is just the tip of the iceberg. There's going to be a lot more, but salutes to Luna Abyss. You were fun to farm for some content, but it appears that it is all over, ladies and gentlemen. But for now, That's going to do for this video. If you enjoyed, consider giving the video a like, consider subscribing, and turning on notifications for daily uploads, as well as multiple streams a week here live on YouTube. But overall, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
You know what? It's always good to see these like woke DEI game devs that want to just shove ideology down the throats of gamers get their comeuppance. Always beautiful to see.
Ember burns bright, bright.